Yeah, today I'm here, in fact, to seek your views about, the macroeconomic of the world. Let's look into China. You know, have you heard? Must have heard of Jim O'Neill, the advocate of BRICS, and in 2025 or 2030, he predicted that China GDP will overtake United States. I think there are very few economists who doubt about it because China is growing strongly, pretty sound economy. So what's your take about China GDP? Would it overtake US one day, or do you have a time frame on that?
I'm not smart enough to have a time frame. The IMF says by 2020, I think. Of course, the IMF is always wrong about everything. I know what's going to happen. You're going to have the U.S. slowing down and maybe even declining, and China will continue to grow, even though it may have periods of decline. China's certainly going to overtake the U.S. Now, not on a per capita basis, not for a long, long, long time. China's got 1,300,000,000 people. The U.S. only has 300 million people. So China will certainly surpass the U.S., but not per capita for a long time.
Do you see one of the, this is something I've been telling industrial parks in China, the big ones, some as big as, the one Singapore built in Suzhou, an industrial park capable of generating 400-500 renminbi GDP. So my advice to them is don't look at Fortune 500 or Fortune 1000. Look into the medium-sized companies in the U.S. and in Europe. And do you agree that government should look to attract medium-sized company in the West or in Europe to come to China to explore business opportunities?
Certainly in most countries, it's the small and medium-sized companies which give you the most growth of employment and the most growth of profits and the most growth of sales. So sure, find the ones that are still small but still growing, because in the end you'll wind up better. I mean, Exxon's a wonderful company, almost. Exxon's a wonderful company, but once you get them there, you're not going to see much upside. But if you have some of the younger or newer or more smaller companies that are growing and that have scope for growth, you'll have huge success.
The current rate of exchange renminbi to US is 6.3. If we come down to assuming one day it come down to 5 to 1 or 4 to 1, what do you see the result, the repercussion? Would that affect China export to the world?
The Japanese currency, the yen, has gone up 700 or 800% against the U.S. dollar in the past several decades, and the Japanese still have a balance of trade surplus with the United States. I'm not worried. I mean, the Chinese currency can double, can triple. They're still going to be more competitive than the U.S. So I'm not worried about the currency at all. In fact, I think one of the mistakes that the Chinese are making is not letting their currency float. For some reason, they're worried about it. Listen, this is not 1982. This is 2012. I don't think the Chinese have to worry about a convertible currency anymore. But I'm not Chinese, so I can't tell them what to do. But the Chinese currency can go certainly a lot higher, and they will still be competitive.